Hey nerd family, and welcome back to another video. And happy streaming day. For those of you that don't know, Roku calls this streaming day because it's the day that they came out with their first streaming device. So ever since then it's been streaming day. Now 1 year ago today, Roku did come out with Roku Originals. You may be more familiar with them as Quibi Originals, but when Quibi went downhill, Roku did purchase the rights to their shows. So today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Roku Originals now that they've been out for 1 year. Before we get into that, I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro and I'll see you back here in a second. Alright guys, welcome back. I hope everyone out there is staying safe and staying healthy. If you haven't already checked out thenerdcircle.com, make sure to head over there and check it out. You can also follow along on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Nerd Circle. Sometimes we post some things over there if it's not quite time for video just yet, so if you don't want to miss out, make sure to head over there. And if you want to check out the description, there's a lot of links with a lot of new things I got going on here. If you want to be able to get the 2 free months of Stadia Pro, if you're into video games, and a lot of other stuff is down there as well. There's a new link that basically brings up a page with all the links, so you can go ahead and follow there. And one of the new things we're also doing is a Buy Me a Coffee. We did set up a Buy Me a Coffee website, which you can access at buymeacoffee.com/thenerdcircle. No obligation or anything there, but if you guys do want to help out the channel, help us continue to grow, then we can go ahead and have you donate at Buy Me a Coffee. Now, throughout the year, there will be some different campaigns and things that are up there. So the campaign that just ended here was for the Evil Dead the game, but you will see some other campaigns popping up. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, make sure to follow there. We do want to thank all of our subscribers. If you are a new subscriber since the last video, you will see your name scrolling across the bottom. Again, we want to thank you guys for helping us continue to grow. And you will see your name scrolling across the side for all the subscribers. Again, we want to thank all of our subscribers as you're helping us get to where we want to be. Our next milestone is 500 subscribers, and we're definitely on our way there, so thanks again. Make sure to keep sharing us with your friends and family. If you haven't already subscribed and you'd like to do so, make sure to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of the new content. And if you do like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It definitely helps us out as it lets YouTube know who likes the videos and who to recommend them to next. But alright guys, without further ado, today we're taking a look at the Roku Originals. Now before we jump into that, I do want to just kind of touch base real quick here that I've done some other Roku videos, so if you want to check them out, you can go ahead and look for those. Roku did do some updates recently that kind of changed a little bit of look and feel. I still personally don't like the whole look and feel of Roku. I don't like the, blockiness of everything, but to each their own. It could just be my personal preference. Maybe everyone else loves it. I know some of the less tech savvy people do kind of like the Rokus because they're just easy to function. I just personally don't like the look and feel, but I will say they've added a lot of new features, whether it be the live TV or lots of other things that they've added recently. And they did kind of clean it up a little bit and add some other stuff to it there. So if you guys want to see a future video on the Roku devices or the Roku channel itself, then let me know in the comments down below and we'll go ahead and put a new video together. But you can also check out the older videos. Now we will in a little bit here take a look at the Roku channel itself, but just a quick peek because this video is more about the actual Roku Originals, the TV series or movies that they purchased from Quibi and the ones that they're going to be producing themselves going forward. Now 1 year ago today, they did bring over 30 shows from Quibi. If you guys are unfamiliar with Quibi, I did a video on that as well, but Quibi was a short form video service that I thought was pretty good. They had a lot of great content and they had some cool little features as well, but it just never really took off. And fortunately for us, Roku did buy all the rights to their content, but they only released 30 of them as of a year ago. Now there was an article that surfaced not too long after that, a few months later or so, that said that they did add 23 more shows. And somewhat more recently, there's been articles surfacing that they have plans of adding 50 more over the next year or two. So time will tell exactly what's going to happen with that. But let's go ahead and jump in here. Now we're going to pull it up over on the browser. You could of course pull it up over on the Roku TV, but since we're not really looking at the user interface or anything of it here today, we're just really more or less looking at the content. The Roku website will do just fine. You can of course go to Roku.com and you can watch stuff there. So if you don't have a Roku device or a Fire device or any other devices that it works with, you can access it at Roku.com, which is what we're going to go ahead and pull up here today. Alright, so here you can see I'm over on the Roku blog. There's a lot of great information you can get over here on the Roku blog if there's anything you want to know. But this was their post from 1 year ago where it talks about, you know, the Roku Originals that they're bringing over, and you can kind of read through it there if you want to. But these are some of the ones that they brought over originally that, like I said, were the Quibi Originals. So I'm going to quickly scroll through here, but you can kind of just skim that if you want to, but head over if you want to check out the Roku blog. There's a lot of great stuff in there. Alright, so we're going to go through a lot of things real quick here today, but most of it's going to be over on the Roku website. So you can stream from the Roku website itself, since it's not available on all devices. Of course, you can you know, get it on Roku devices, Roku.com, which is where we're at today. There are some things you can watch through the Roku app. You can download it. It is a little confusing. I didn't know. I kept seeing that there's a Roku app, but when you search for it in whether the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, it actually says Roku Remote, so it kept throwing me off thinking it's just the remote. But when you download it and you go into it, there are some options to watch some things, but it also controls a Roku TV or Roku device, so you can kind of do that. And it does give you the option, just like some Roku remotes, you can actually plug your headphones into and privately listen. And I haven't tested this out just yet, but it does say it has the option. So if you're on your smartphone and you want to control your TV and you have Bluetooth headphones hooked up to your smartphone, you could privately listen to a show and not bother anybody. So I do have to check that feature out. I do like that feature. It's pretty cool, so that way you're not bothering anyone at night. But it does allow you to watch some of the content, but I wasn't able to really watch too many things. A lot of it kept wanting to kind of pop up on the TV, but hopefully that's things they're working out as we go forward here and it gets on more and more devices. But you do have the ability to also get the Roku stuff over on Fire TV and Samsung Smart TVs currently as well. Alright, so as we scroll down, this is just going to be a little taste of some of the Roku Originals. We are going to look at it a little bit differently in a moment here, but it breaks down some of their comedy series here, so you can kind of get a quick scroll through here. Now, this is one of their newer ones that came out. I haven't watched it yet. It is on my watch list to see here, but I will say that most of the, and I said this in my previous video too, most of the originals are actually pretty good. And the fact that right now they are the short form, since most of them came from Quibi, you can binge everything pretty quickly. But there's a few shows that I probably wasn't interested in. Here we have our crime and thrillers here, but a lot of them are actually done pretty well. I think that most people are going to find a lot of things on here to watch. They kind of hit a lot of different genres, but I like most of them, so I think that most people are going to like them as well. We have some documentaries here. Now, I think most of these documentaries are newer. I don't know exactly when they came to the service, but I think a lot of them are newer. I don't think there was a whole lot of documentaries from the beginning, so I do think that they added a lot of those. And then we have competition shows here, more, you know, like dating shows and some other type of game show type things here. So there we have that. And if you keep scrolling down on this page, it is more of like a frequently asked questions. So they talk about the Roku Originals. They talk about when they came over and if they bought Quibi and yada yada yada. So if you kind of just want to, you know, get more information, of course you can kind of skim through the frequently asked questions, and then it does show you some of the featured stuff that we pretty much just looked through. But we're going to take a look a little bit deeper here. The Roku Originals, at least as of right now, are all free. That's one of the great things that Roku's doing with Roku Channel, is that as of right now, pretty much everything up there is free. There are some things that they're doing where it's like a free episode, and then the next episode is going to be a paid channel. So it's like that channel, whatever it might be, is pushing to have people subscribe for that premium channel, and then they're giving that free episode, that first episode, for free. So you will see some of those which kind of throw you off a bit from everything being free, but most of the stuff you're going to see is all just free ad-based content. So yeah, it kind of sucks that it's all ad-based, but they do have a lot of stuff. So if you can get past the fact that there are going to be some ads on this, I mean, there's a lot of great content and they make it easy to find. There's also some live TV on there as well. And this one shows you one of the, I guess, newer Roku Originals here. So we got Swimming with Sharks, and then as you scroll down, we have more categories in this one. So we have newly added. So it's going to show you ones that have recently been added, which some of them I really don't think that they were that recent, but I guess if they only have one or two things, they're probably going to throw some other stuff in there. But you can see the ones that are new have the little new indicator on there. But now we're starting to see some things that we haven't seen in the other two sections to look for things. So we're starting to see some new stuff. Here we got comedy again. So let's just look through and see if we see anything new in here. I think it's pretty much all the stuff we've seen in there already. Now we have crime and thrillers here. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be some of the same stuff we've already seen. I don't know if there's anything new coming across in here. Okay, we have documentaries again. I don't know again. I'm not seeing anything new coming up in this one. I mean, this says new, but I'm pretty sure we just saw it in a different category previously. And then same thing with this one here. It looks like it was up top as well. So a lot of redundancy, but just a lot of different ways to find stuff. But again, this way has more categories. So now we're at competition again. We got lifestyle. We got sports. It looks like that's all the sports. Then we got reality. We got drama. And then we have music and dance. And then that's going to be the end of it there. All right, and we're not going to go too deep into this, but I do want to kind of just cover it quickly here. So this is just going to be your main Roku channel here. So it's not just the originals, it's going to be everything. And I could make a whole nother video on this, but we're just going to kind of quickly go over it here. But when you first pop in, it's going to show you some stuff, you know, up top here. But you have your live TV, so that's again a great option to have with a free service here. And we're just going to kind of go through a few things, but they have that live TV section here, and I'm sure you're going to find some things that you like in here. And a lot of it's just going to be, you know, a certain TV show that kind of plays, you know, for like a 24/7 loop. But that's what a lot of these free live TV services are now. Anyways, I can keep scrolling. It's probably a long, vicious cycle there. Then we got featured, recommended for you, heart pounding, last chance to watch free. I like when the streaming services do that. So if there's really something that you don't want to miss, maybe it's not going to another streaming service, or maybe you just can't find it anywhere else, you want to know that, hey, this is your last chance. So I really do like when they throw that section in there. Here is some of the premium subscription services that you can add. So we're not going to name every single one of them, but you can see there is quite a big list of premium services. So, you know, if you have a Roku TV or Roku device and you preferred that you wanted to subscribe to things this way versus like Amazon channels or Apple TV, then you do have this option as well. There's quite a few subscriptions that you can get through here. As you can see, we can say see all, and there's probably more, but that's good enough for now. We will definitely make a future video with more. You got popular on the Roku channel, mysteries. I like when they do not on Netflix, because a lot of these streaming services are coming out now. They're really, you know, putting the screws to Netflix, which I guess we can say is one of the original streaming services. So they're definitely putting the screws to Netflix here, and it just gives you a good way to kind of know what's not on Netflix, so you can watch it here. You got reality TV, trending now, Gordon Ramsay, recently added, Supernatural, and the list goes on. So I'm just going to kind of do a quick scroll here. As you see, there is no shortage of categories or genres for you to kind of scroll through and find stuff here. And like I said, most of it's free, but you are going to hit certain things that it's just like the first free episode, but there's not too much of that. Hopefully they don't keep adding more of that as time goes on, but that is a quick look at the Roku channel itself. If you guys do want to see a updated, newer version, kind of going more in depth of the Roku channel, let me know down below. Alright, and this article over here came out on March 23rd, and it just lets us know that there is a new Roku original called Slip that's set to start production, and tells you that it's starring Zoe Lister-Jones, or Zoe, I'm not really sure how she pronounces it, but I didn't know who she was. I had to look her up, so if you guys don't know, I will look her up here and kind of show you, but it gives you some information on a new series that's coming, so if you guys want to check it out, again, it's over on the Roku blog. Alright, and here we are again, Zoe Lister-Jones here. If you want to know who she is, if you're unfamiliar, you can look her up on IMDb like I did. But she's not too well known, but there are a couple things she did that some people would know her from. So as we scroll down, we're going to kind of start at the bottom here, but it looks like her first thing was all the way back in 1986, but she didn't really start her career till, we'll say, 2004. And of course, it probably took her some time to kind of build it up, but she did a lot of, you know, small roles and things and shorts and things like that. But what most people are probably going to know her for, you know, you may know her from The Good Wife potentially, and a couple other things, Whitney. So I think her bigger roles were New Girl and Life in Pieces. So if you know her, you're probably going to know her from those, maybe a few other things here or there. But as you can see, she's currently doing some stuff now, and there is the Slip pre-production. So there you have it. You can go ahead and look her up if you want to get more information. Alright guys, so I did try to get a full list of how many Roku Originals there are, but unfortunately there's just really no concrete information. The first source I checked was Wikipedia, but it really just kind of wants to pull in the Quibi Originals, and then the article says it needs to be updated, so it doesn't have all the new stuff on there. So it's only going to show you what was on Quibi, which doesn't give us a full idea, but it gives us a kind of a starting point. We know that, like I said, they brought over 30 series, and then somewhere down the road they did add 23 more. So that puts you somewhere in the neighborhood of 53 series. And they have, like I said, articles that came out saying they're adding 50 more, just no exact time frame. By my count, which isn't a very scientific number, I was able to come up with, I think there's like 60 plus that are currently on there. So there is a good number of shows. Now, of course, you can binge them pretty quickly, but nonetheless, there is at least about 60 shows that you can currently watch. And they're talking about adding more, both the short form and more of the long form, like 30-40 minute episodes. So we'll see how that pans out over time, but they're definitely putting their money into it here. And I personally think that the Roku Originals are actually pretty good. But alright guys, that's all I got here for you in this one. I definitely hope you were able to get something out of this video here today. Hopefully I was able to kind of let you know a little bit more of the Roku ecosystem here, whether it's your first time looking into Roku, or if you have a Roku device but never really went into the Roku Originals section, then I hope I was able to help you out here. Maybe you're on the fence deciding if you're going to get a Roku device, and hopefully I'm able to help you figure that out. Now, I also, like I said, have other previous Roku videos that might be able to help you out a little bit more as well, so make sure to check those out. If you guys did like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It definitely helps us out as it lets YouTube know who likes the videos and who to recommend them to next. And if you could also please share this video across any social media platform that you like. If there's anything I forgot to mention, I'll leave it in the description down below. You'll also see a lot of the links down there, so make sure to not forget to check those out. And if there's anything that you guys noticed that I forgot, please make sure to leave it in the comments down below. And if there's anything else you guys want to see in the tech world, make sure to let me know, and we'll make sure to put it in a future video. But let me know down below, what are your thoughts on the Roku Originals? Is there one you're really wanting to watch, or have you seen some that you really enjoyed? How many of you out there own a Roku device? There's definitely going to be more videos to come as the streaming wars are heating up here, and there's lots of things happening every day, both on the TV and movie and video game streaming, so there's definitely lots of things to come. If you guys want more Roku videos, let me know down below. You can also check us out on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and let us know your thoughts. Oh, and today was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I feel old. Look at all that gray hair. And until next time, stay